What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of We Need to Talk. This is year 2, episode 8. Special shout out to everybody who's been tuning in via replay. Can't forget you guys. Definitely shout out to everybody who's been tuning in live. Much appreciated. And, shout out to everybody who has been also tuning in on the Clubhouse discussions. That's a new installment that I have added. It's been a really great experience so far. Been having some really great conversations there. I love the platform. I love the energy, and it allows for a depth of connection and conversation that's a little bit different than on Instagram. So much appreciated, and if you guys are interested, definitely tune in during the week, 6 p.m. I will be having discussions. I will continue to post the content as well, or the topics that we're going to discuss. So tonight was no different. Definitely was a great conversation, as usual, and just keeping the momentum going. There's a lot of things that need to be discussed. Hence the title of this show being "We Need to Talk." There's a lot of things that need to be talked about, and through Clubhouse, it allows for conversations that go more into understanding each other as male and female in this romantic dynamic. I'm definitely an advocate of furthering the understanding between us, just as genders, being able to, have the exchange, to be better because of each other, to be able to speak and be heard and be understood, but also to listen as well, and to desire to wanna understand the other party. We both have a story to tell. Us as men, you as women, we both have a story to tell. We both have an individual experience, and I think the more we know about each other, the better ways we can communicate and stay connected. So follow me there on Clubhouse. It's at Where's My Bae, or you could just search my name, Marcus Cade Jr. You will see me there. So let's see who's in the building. And it's not going to be a long one because my allergies out of control. What's up? Shari, good to see you in the Clubhouse too. What's up, Tay? What's up, Shonda? What's going on, Sean? Shonda and Sean. What's up, y'all? London Love Jones. What's going on? Good to see y'all. Okay. And I see Mo just popped in. What's up? All right. So today I want to quickly discuss. Special shout out to my Patreon gang. Definitely put a thumbs up in the comments. Let me know, you guys are in the building. Definitely special shout out to you guys, everybody who's a part of the Patreon family. Again, I should talk to y'all like this. Hold up. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was, I was there. I was in the streets, and my friend Deron was like, I pulled a burnout. I said, nah, you know what I mean? That's against the law. So, he wanted me to be a part of his gang and all that. And I said, that wouldn't be it. Me, myself, personally, that wouldn't be in my best interest. It's like that. And shout out to my last guy. Oh man, that was my gangland witness protection situation there. But shout out to my caller from last night. That wasn't on her. That was more so like, because I had to. That's what it was looking like last night. You know what I mean? But shout out to her. Got a lot of love for her. So, but yeah, nah. So I wanted to And oh yeah, again, if you are interested in any coaching, any one-on-one coaching, in the realms of mental health, life purpose, romantic relationships, any human relationships, and dating, as well as physical health. This is the season, especially if you are in a position where you would like to improve your body. You would like to learn about juicing, about detoxing. You would like to have some elements that, maybe come from a training perspective. I definitely have the credentials there as well. I weave in and out of psychology and nutrition and training as well. So I like to be well-rounded in my approach. Your progress is my priority. So if you are interested in either the coaching or, the virtual wellness platform itself, I am posting daily on there to just continue to keep you guys in that right vibration, help you to reach and maintain that cruising altitude mood-wise, and feel your best. So if you're interested in that, it's patreon.com/happinessdecoded, or you can click the link in my bio. What's up, Trina? What's up, Dawn? How y'all feeling? Anyway, so tonight, again, short broadcast, and I wanted to talk about just something that I feel to be true, and I wanted to highlight sort of the benefits of pain, the benefits of pain, and I'm speaking in general, but more so, since this is a dating and relationship platform, emotional pain. So why is pain beneficial? I like to say first that I am of the belief of converting all things to help to build your empire, meaning your internal fortress, and to keeping yourself in a balanced state, in a positive state. Danielle, what's going on? Good to see you. In a positive space, in your best element, in your peak levels, right? I do believe that all things can be utilized as fuel, and there are advantages to each thing, or each circumstance or set of circumstances that happen to you. And I want to kind of highlight that as well, because I do think, as just humans, period, there's a natural aversion to pain itself. We do a lot to avoid pain. We do a lot of work. We put a lot of energy into avoiding pain, right? Let's think about ourselves in certain relationships, right? Let's say the pain of infidelity, the pain of heartbreak. So we do a lot of things in the realm of pain avoidance. Sometimes we stay in relationships to avoid the pain of being single and being lonely. Wilmer Black, what's up? Sometimes we get into relationships to avoid the pain of being single, being lonely, or to avoid the pain of facing one's own demons, facing oneself, to being subject to what goes on in between one's own head. And a lot of times, a relationship can seem like a buffer mechanism, something to focus our attention on, and something to punish instead of ourselves, and something else or somebody else to shift blame off of. Sometimes we need that extra ricochet board to send energy off of, or to express energy onto, scapegoat energy onto, instead of dealing with ourselves. Can you see that dynamic? Like, if we are not okay with ourselves, if we are not in a space where we are accepting of ourselves, or we are afraid to face our true self and our true tendencies, we may choose a partner who we know is prone to failing as a partner, for the sole purpose of having an external individual to put blame on, to blame for your life. So when anything goes wrong, you can funnel the blame and negative energy onto an external source, so that to everyone else it looks like it makes sense because that person is effing up, is messing up, isn't measuring up. But you chose them for that purpose. You knew going in who that person was. Steph, what's up? So again, the aversion of pain, the the attempt to avoid pain at all costs. Some pain can't be avoided. Some pain we find ourselves in due to cyclical action, or cyclical routine of action. Mish, what's up? To where we endure pain because we run so fast away from it, we run right into it. And our choices or our imbalanced motivation to avoid it puts us right square in front of it. So I'm here to say that although I don't co-sign cycles, I do feel as though certain pain can be positive and there can be benefits from it. Pain is information. Dolores, what's up? Pain is information. So it can be utilized to provoke action, and it is designed to provoke action. Example, when you have any pain physically, external or internal, the way that our bodies are wired, it literally is information. When you think about the connection up the spinal cord and synapses and all of these electrical signals that go from the source to your brain, the source of the pain to your brain to say, hey, look at your leg. Something's going on around the leg. You might want to check out that leg. Right around the leg, we got some action. We got something going on. And then, bleeding or swelling or any, things are happening around the site, right? It's the information that, number one, is provoking action. So if you're standing on hot coals, the action that's provoked is get your ass up off of those. Put your shoes on and get up off of that. That's not, you are not part of the circus. So get your ass off of these hot coals right now. Stop performing. Stop being drunk or whatever, however you got there. Get your ass up. That's what that's trying to say. Get off. So the information is meant for action and reflection. So the two part, basically, once you get up off of there, that's the action. The second part is the awareness. Hey, maybe I shouldn't get this drunk. Fabulous, what's up? Maybe I shouldn't get this faded to where I end up in a space where 1 minute I'm joking and laughing and drinking shots. The next minute I'm standing on hot coals and burning my feet off. Maybe I should change my cycle of events. So I went wrong somewhere. Gotta figure out which way I went wrong. So the awareness is second. And it's designed to help you to avoid that by taking certain steps. Now, when we find ourselves in cycles, well, before I even get to that, pain is also motivation. If we're really thinking about it, pain can also serve as motivation. Why? Let's talk purpose, right? Sometimes the things that happen to us as children, although unfortunate, although uncalled for, although unwarranted, can be points of motivation. They can be motivation for you to get better. They can be motivation for you to get better, Latasia, what's up, and to become who you needed at that time. So your very purpose in life may be interconnected to your pain points. It's not all about, how great life is or how well things are going. You can learn from the greatness, but I would argue that the pain, it carries deeper memories. And if utilized correctly, you can find yourself going from a complete switch over and going from the victim to the person who leads others to healing by serving symbolically your younger self who needed somebody like you. So you end up turning that into power. You end up turning the pain into healing. You turn it into an awakening to your calling and being able to really help people and lead people through your healing process and help them to not succumb to their pain circumstance. I know some of you have succumbed to your circumstances, allowed yourself to be so totally immersed in the pain that the pain became expected. Almost to the point that, Latasia, thank you. I'm glad. Latasha, what's up? Almost to the point where the pain was accepted. It infected your worldview to the point where it consumed you so much that you walked around looking for it. That's how hypervigilant you can become. The bracing for impact mentality you hear me talking about. Who's gonna fail me next? Who's gonna abandon me next? Who's next? Right? Where's it gonna happen next? Right? And it comes out of your speech unknowingly. It becomes a part of your self-talk unknowingly. And now, before pain happened to you, now you are generating it. It's almost like you took that pain energy and started to churn it up and made a stew out. You in there cooking like them witches in the cartoon. You got a rabbit foot, some carrots, and you stirring the whole thing because you're keeping the momentum of that pain living inside of you. You're constantly reigniting that fire every day, back to back to back. And in that space, it's not beneficial because there's no conversion process. You're not taking the pain and converting it to fuel. You're taking the pain and making more of it. You're beating it into, it's almost like you stretching the product. And what would I know about that? Anyway, I'll be watching Power too much. So you're essentially stretching the product out, and you're mass producing pain because internally it feels easier than getting blindsided by it. So in effort to not get blindsided by pain, mentally you start to say, well, I'll figure out a way to live in that just so I don't get blindsided by it. But the problem is that's not a way of life. That's not living. That's existing and barely really holding on. So what I would say is use the power in the pain. Use the power within it. This is how I look at life, right? energy is energy for me. I see Trina. Energy is energy for me. So I believe that the more painful something is, the more powerful it actually can become in your favor personally and in society at large. Only if you're able to convert it. If you don't convert it, it'll eat you alive. Let's think just physics, Newton, all of that. Pain can neither be destroyed or created. So if emotional pain is transferred to you from somebody else, you have two options. You can allow it to destroy you and infect you and grow internally, right? Destroy you from the inside. Or you actually have more than one choice. You can transfer the pain to somebody else, right? Hurt people, right? You can transfer that pain to somebody else. And I told you, people like narcissists and things like that recruit people in partnerships as a scapegoat to basically victimize and transfer pain onto. So that's a prime example. So you can allow it to destroy you personally and or punish somebody else and transfer that pain to somebody else. Or you have the option of going against the grain and mining that pain energy for advantages, for information, for things to be appreciative of, and for motivation. If you can take, they say get sugar out of shit, right? If you can take something that's painful and convert that into something powerful that helps you or helps society at large, and helps your purpose, or a conjunction of both, you've done an amazing job. You guys have heard me maybe talk about, there's actually a defense mechanism called sublimation, where that's actually, if you think of the greatest artists, people who endure a lot of pain and then they convert that into their art. You hear comedians, they go through a lot of depression, but on the stage, they're able to convert that into self-deprecating humor, or, certain types of humor to make people laugh and things like that. So you see the conversion process happen in a lot of our greatest, in any and all industries, in society. And so, it's something that not only the greatest of us have the capacity to do. This is something that everybody has the capacity to do. It's just a matter of training yourself to be in a routine, or creating a routine or a new normal to take certain instances that we cannot change and utilize them for good in some sort of way, some kind of way. But we can't be afraid to face it initially, because like I said before, if we get into the cycle of running from it, running from it isn't converting it. I want to get that distinction clear. If you simply run from it, that means you're not addressing it. You're just hopping from relationship to relationship, poorly choosing each time, and connecting and reconnecting based on traumatic energy. So your traumatic energy, again, is causing you to leave a traumatic relationship and pull another traumatized individual into your energy field. Now, you're not healing the particular wound. You are recruiting somebody to further rip the wound open. Because again, you've had that distorted, irrational comfort in pain, because you're now perpetuating it again. Now you have a co-creator. That's why it's nothing worse than that. That's why I'm very stern and serious when I say you have to choose properly. This isn't like, man, you need to stop dating for a while. Like I'm not playing with that, because you will ignore red flags. And what's worse, you will invite them. The red flags that you should avoid, you will be inviting, because you are in a perpetual state of pain, and you have relegated yourself to that being your power position. That's not a powerful position. It's not a safe position. Immersing yourself in fire is not a safe place. And so because you're scared of fire, you just sit in it all day. That's not conversion. That's not using the fire to fuel a machine or an engine or something. That's just you wallowing in it and not utilizing your power to convert. And this isn't a one-time thing. And this isn't just in relationships either. This is across the board. So you have to have a clear idea of the things that you're actually looking for, the things you want to manifest, the things you want to make happen. And that's your metric. So when you come up with all of those goals, right? When uncontrollable, painful scenarios happen to you, your job is to say, how can these goals, how can I use whatever that just happened to me that was random, seeming maybe it wasn't, but okay, this just happened emotionally. I read that I didn't like it. How can I use that to benefit this? How can I use that to benefit this, right? How is that going to help motivate me in whichever direction we're going, but likely towards those specific goals that you have for yourself. You keep these things in mind, you will develop such a muscle memory with that. You'll do that with everything. But the biggest thing is in order to take yourself out of a fear-based cycle, you have to be disobedient to fear. You have to face it before you can convert it. If you don't acknowledge that it's there, you're going to fall back into the same space. They always say, know your history or you'll be doomed to repeat it. It's all the same. You know, I look for the connections, you know what I'm saying, in other things. Like, you know, that's why I love to be just a student of life in different disciplines, and because I look for the connectivity in this realm, my personal life, what I've tried, trial and error, what the old saying somebody said over here, or this Buddhist mantra over here, and then I try to look for the commonalities, because I think that's where the truth is. In my quest for the truth, I that's what I look for, is the commonalities, right? Just like an internet search. If there's two ways or two sides to something, you search until you till something makes sense, that you can find a common denominator throughout. And then you say, okay, maybe I'm on to something. Maybe this makes sense, right? So, man, thank you, Trina. Appreciate that. Sean said I made pain normalcy for too long. Yeah. Nah, we gotta step up. Because my thing is, like, I enjoy being disruptive of the status quo. I enjoy that, because this is new territory. It's gonna shock the system a little bit, because, you know, some of you may have been used to being in pain and accepting it. Even just the way certain people talk, you can tell the pain is in there. And it's you know, it just becomes your aura after a certain point. And we can duck our head and work ourselves to death. We can bury ourselves in obligations. Or we can get to a point, Goddess, what's up? We can get to a point where we say, nah, I'm not going nowhere. I'm gonna stand in front of you, and I'm gonna use this energy for my benefit. I'm not gonna allow it to chase me around my own house. I'm not gonna allow it to chase me around my workspace. I'm not gonna, bury myself in other items and focus points that don't address the problem. Because you're capable of doing these things. And each step, each act of defiance against the fear mechanism that pain has created is revolutionary for you. And every step becomes easier than the last one. As long as you keep the momentum. It's just like for my gym people, first time you got in the gym in life, you probably were like, man, what the hell why am I in here? Why does this hurt this bad? And then you watch people who bodybuilders, experts, and you're like, damn, they got the right clothes, they got the neon on, the headphones. Some people got the Bane mask from Batman. I'm like, where do you sell? Is that on Amazon? People that look like they've advanced so much further than you. And then so you sit, you figure it, and you're like, man, it's gonna take me extra long to lose this weight, or to get cut like that, or to get ripped like that, or to be that shape, or whatever the case is. It's gonna take forever, so let me just go back to my old habits. Don't run back to where you came from. Because just like in the gym, don't jump in the pool and jump out, work out for a few weeks and then take a break. You take a break, when you come back, it's gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder. You're gonna lose your gains. It's gonna be difficult because you're gonna have that soreness creep back up because you're a beginner all over again. I want to keep shocking the body. Just create the consistency, like I always talk about. Try something anti-fear today. Try something anti-fear tomorrow. You get your body and your soul in a space to work in counteraction, to fear. You're laying groundwork that won't go anywhere as long as you stay on that course. And again, what happens is you balance your levels. We all have intuition. We all have a fear voice, in my opinion. I feel like we have a fear voice and an intuitive voice. Now, if the fear voice is talking the loudest seemingly and has the most control over you, that's because it sends emotional signals so that you, in a realm of emotional reasoning, do things that feel right, feel like the path of least resistance, but it's because you're scared, really. You know what I'm saying? And intuition, although I believe intuition always speaks first, it may have the smallest voice inside of your head because it's drowned out by fear because you've allowed fear to be dominant. So, the more anti-fear you act, the more revolutionary you are. When it comes to that, the louder intuition becomes and the more grounded it gains, the more obsolete fear gets. You keep disobeying and disagreeing with an entity. How could fear stay at the same pitch or the same volume if you never listen to it? It's just how it goes. It's just, the body, think of the body, think of atrophy. If you don't use your muscle, it'll atrophy, it'll weaken. We live, our vessels are adaptive organisms. So keep that stuff in mind. And although it may have taken you to the bad space, it can work in your favor if you utilize it right. So we're all capable of using pain to our benefit, and that concludes my sentiments for the night. Hopefully you guys are in a great space as we start to close this week out. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend as well. I'll be having Trina having you on tomorrow evening. We're gonna talk it up. Any questions, just shoot me a DM. And again, make sure you guys click the link in my bio. And for all my Patreon guys, I appreciate you guys. A lot more stuff coming. Hopefully this resonated. I feel like it was right on time. I'm glad it was right on time. I heard that feedback in the chat, so I appreciate that. I hope that it is, even more so than now, because this is your time to elevate. Your time to elevate, and you're very much capable of doing it. And again, I always recommend things in gradual. Got to move gradual. We don't got to jump in and be perfect or hit some sort of crazy milestones. We have to take a step and celebrate it. Take another step and celebrate it. Create that brain chemistry geared around incentives that we create. And you want to be the first to congratulate yourself on this, even when nobody's watching. So you guys have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.